Hello မင်္ဂလာပါဒီနေ့စာပစံထားတဲ့ English birds that head တခုရှိပါတယ်စာနဲ့တကွအတူ practice လုပ်ကြရအောင် Okay အကြောင်းအရာလဲဆိုရင်တော့ forgive me နော် for Jaren ငါ့ကိုခွင့်လို့ပါ forgive me for Jaren ငါ့ကိုခွင့်လို့ပါပေါ့အဲ့အကြောင်းအရာနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့အတူတကွ practice လုပ်ကြရအောင် forgive me for bailing forgive me for bailing နောက်ကြတော့ငါ့ကိုခွင့်လို့ပါ Forgive me for losing my temper. Forgive me for losing my temper. Daughter Tramiranga Kuluba. Forgive me for blaming you. Forgive me for blaming you. Mingo Opita Miranga Kuluba. Forgive me for not telling the truth. Forgive me for not telling the truth. Forgive me for not telling the truth. Amango Mapilta Miranga Kuluba. Forgive me for failing the exam. Forgive me for failing the exam. Forgive me for being upset. Forgive me for being upset. Forgive me for avoiding me. Forgive me for avoiding me. Forgive me for being rude to you. Forgive me for being rude to you. Forgive me shouted at you. Forgive me shouted at you. Forgive me for beating you. Forgive me for beating you. Forgive me leaving you waiting. Forgive me leaving you waiting. Forgive me for breaking the promise. Forgive me for breaking the promise. Forgive me for refusing it. Forgive me for refusing it. Forgive me for making mistakes. Forgive me for making mistakes. Forgive me for ignoring you. Forgive me for ignoring you. Forgive me for making you sick. Forgive me for making you sick. Forgive me for accusing you. Forgive me for accusing you. Forgive me cheating you. Forgive me for cheating you. No? Forgive me for cheating you. So, forgive me for losing the money. Forgive me for losing the money. Forgive me for canceling the appointment. Forgive me for canceling the appointment. Forgive me for breaking the rules. Forgive me for breaking the rules. Forgive me for misunderstanding. Forgive me misunderstanding. Forgive me for making mistake. Forgive me for making mistake. Forgive me for not explaining. Forgive me for not explaining. Forgive me for drinking too much. Forgive me for drinking too much. Forgive me for smoking while you eat. Forgive me for smoking while you eat. Forgive me for not attending the meeting. Forgive me for not attending the meeting. Forgive me for not admitting. Forgive me for not admitting. Forgive me for cheating in the exam. Forgive me for cheating in the exam. Forgive me for having a lover. Forgive me for having a lover. Forgive me for spending time with my friends. Forgive me for spending time with my friends. Okay, alright, practice loba. Jama igi saiba, la ba, choose ba. Things at the tema, malo, sells, cry little people. ဒါကတော့ basic foundation အတွက် beginner သမားတွေအတွက် ပြင်ဆင်ထားတဲ့သင်ခန်းစာဖြစ်ပါတယ် see you next time bye bye